I have a lot of Seahawks jerseys. So today I'm going to tell you the story behind each and every one. The first jersey I ever got was the Shaun Alexander Youth Extra Large. As you can see, it's seen better days as some of the green has even come peeling apart. Actually, that's how the jersey was designed. Cheap jersey. Now that I look at it, it's actually in pretty decent shape for the amount of use it got. I got this jersey at Kohl's in 5th grade. I believe it was either right before they went to the Super Bowl or right after. Either way, Kohl's carried this. I am a Midwest guy, so we do not have Seahawks jersey. And you have to remember, this was in 2004, 2005. People were not just ordering stuff online, or I guess I should say our family was not. So if you wanted something, you had to find it in person. And found it in person I did at Kohl's in the boys section. The jersey I got next was this DEION Branch home team jersey, and I was incredibly impressed with this because it was stitched, unlike my Shaun Alexander, which was just screen printed. This is the one that has seen better days. I knew one of them has, especially the Seahawks logo. You can't even tell. This is the jersey I probably wore the most. I got this in 2007. I realized that it still fits me. Middle schoolers in 2007 were just buying their clothes big. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm actually impressed. This thing actually fits me 150 pounds later. And this one I did buy online. I actually bought this on eBay, and I want to say it was between $25 and $45, but it was stitched and I wore it all throughout middle school. The third jersey I ever owned was this away version, TJ HOUSHMANDZADEH, and I remember vividly the day I got this. It was September 4th, 2010, the day they released him. So I still wore it a few times, but all in all, this is probably my least worn jersey. My fourth jersey was this also stitched Earl Thomas jersey. This was one of my favorites probably when I purchased it. It's still in excellent condition. It has the authentic stitching, not that DEION Branch, like hard, crunchy, what do you even call that stuff? Plastic stitching. I know I got this one in high school at some point. I think it was just after he was drafted by Seattle. And again, it still fits me wearing big clothes carried all the way through high school. This was also the last jersey I got on eBay right before my world expanded. My world expanded into AliExpress, where you could get seemingly authentic jerseys for under $30. One of the upperclassmen on the swim team helped me kind of set up an account and get to ordering, and that's where the addiction truly started. There was just one problem. My parents hated the idea that I would be buying jerseys from sweatshops. In other words, I would be taking advantage of people who are underpaid for grueling labor. Now, they're right. They're flat out right. But the way I rationalized it to them and eventually was able to get these is that if I buy them from the official NFL website, they're still being made there. The NFL is just the one who makes the money. So let's cut out the middleman, I'll make the money, save a little bit, and we'll just turn a blind eye. Yeah, guys, I know it's not great. So the fifth jersey I got is probably the most expensive jersey that I own, and it is Shaun Alexander. Actually replica, authentic, not from eBay, not from AliExpress, not from Kohl's. This is NFL registered, 100% real. And sadly, it's the one I wore the least. Okay, well, this and the TJ HOUSHMANDZADEH jersey. Because even though I liked wearing my clothes big in middle school and high school, this one was absolutely massive. It's a 54, which I think translates to like an XXL. I was a cross-country runner and swimmer. Yes, I was about 6'2", but I probably weighed about 130, 140 all through high school. To this day, I still don't know where this jersey came from. I know one of my parents' friends bought it. I think they had told a friend about my wanting to buy these fast fashion jerseys, and they said, let me step in and get you a nice one, because my parents didn't have a lot of money. I believe the same people actually buy me a jersey that comes later, which is actually probably my most expensive one. Now, I told you this was an addiction and I'm not sugarcoating it. The next 10 jerseys, I don't really have a recollection of the order. We'll try our best. PERCY HARVIN was probably one of the next jerseys I got, and this time my parents bought it for me. Funny enough, and this is going to be a long-winded tale, so strap in, the upperclassman that I told you about that I swam with that put me on AliExpress was also running this side business at school where he'd sell them and buy them. Well, our moms were friends, and so his mom said, hey, you want to get her a jersey for Christmas? And she said, sure, get him a Percy Harvin one. So my mom went to the middleman of the upperclassmen instead of just coming to me and probably paid twice as much. Oh my gosh. Now this one actually fit me. Problem was Percy Harvin's stint did not last long in Seattle. He had a lot of issues going on, and I wish him the best. And my goodness, I don't think I wore this but twice. But here's the funny part. When they drafted Bruce Irvin a few years later, I had the bright idea, since their last names were so similar, that I could remove the H-A of Harvin and maybe fix up an I so I could have a Bruce Irvin jersey. What was I going to do about the 11? He was number 51, I think. Was I going to just find a 5 that looked identical to this at the Hobby Lobby and stitch it on here? I was an idiot. The Richard Sherman alternate gray probably came next, the first alternate gray that I ever had. There's a couple more, but this was the first non-white or blue one that I ever owned, so that was cool. I always was a little upset because the colors are off. You can see that's more of a turquoise sky blue than it is a dark blue because it came from AliExpress. But this one probably got some of the most use. I was a big Richard Sherman guy, kind of because of who he is, and I liked getting into arguments with people. And you know, you wear this jersey, people brought up Richard Sherman in the famous interview with Aaron Andrews, and they wanted to talk about him, and you know, people had opinions. So I like kind of stirring up the drama by wearing this. Then Seattle tried the Jimmy Graham experiment, which didn't last long, and so I had another jersey that I didn't really need. And at this point, I said enough is enough. We're going with the 12 fan jersey, so no matter what happens to these players, if they get traded, if they get hurt, if they retire, I can wear this no matter what. I lied. This one was from Super Bowl 49. Logically, Super Bowl 48 came first. This is the one I bought when I was tired of not having players who actually played on the team. So yes, after they beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl, I ordered this jersey. Now, fun fact, I like this one. I think this one is really accurate in the colors and everything. But when I was in college, I worked at a concert hall, and Macklemore and Ryan Lewis came by the concert hall one time, and I said to my boss, hey, they're big Seattle people. Do you care if I bring in a jersey to have them signed? She said, sure, why not? So this one is actually signed by Ryan Lewis and Macklemore. I haven't worn it since. The Marshawn Lynch was always a nice one. I very much enjoyed this. As you can see, probably too much, it's a little brown. And about this time, we got a Bobby Wagner, and if you're wondering what that is, when I would go to Seahawks games, I would get very dollied up. And at this particular game, my face paint rubbed off on this jersey, and I never decided to wash it off. Then the Seahawks unveiled their whatever this is. And this one is so bad. I've hated this one always because it's not even the correct color green, and it's green on green. It just looks horrible and not at all like the alternates that they actually have. So when I would go to Seahawks games, I would take this specifically to try to get Russell Wilson's signature on it, so that way I could just hang it up and I wouldn't have to wear it. But as you can see, I failed. But only I failed, and not whoever gave me this. This is a signed Russell Wilson jersey. Now, I know where this technically came from, and the reason why I say I don't is because I hypothesized that the people who got me the autographed one were the same people who got me the Shaun Alexander one, even though their identity has never been revealed. Except I wish Russell would have just stayed in Seattle for his entire career. Speaking of Wilson, I also own the standard navy. The most recent jersey I ever bought, which was probably in college, is the Tyler Lockett standard. I haven't bought very many in the last decade. I don't know if I've bought any since DK Metcalf has even been on the team. I do kind of want a Jackson Smith and Jigma retro, but outside of that, I just kind of got burnt out, as you can see, and realized that I only have one body. There's no need for 17 jerseys. I hope you enjoyed the story behind each one. If you liked the video, leave a thumbs up. Write a little comment about which jersey is your favorite or any NFL jersey stories you may have, and share this with a 40 freaking Niners fan or a Rams fan or a Cardinals fan. Just send it to our NFC West rivals and really get under their skin. Okay, I'm turning this off.